Well, guys, the big moment has finally arrived. You've all requested him. Nearly every single comment and DM has been, where's Colby? Where's the Colby interview? We'd like it now, please. Well, here he is, the man that made a statement at UFC 272 when he beat Jorge Masvidal. Chaos himself, the king of Miami, iced out from head to toe. Colby Covington, I'm happy to say this. Welcome back to Submission Radio, man. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me down under again, boys. It's always a pleasure and honor to talk to you guys.
Oh, the pleasure is all ours, man. Thank you so much for taking some time. And this is probably like the longest nobody's heard from you other than a few posts and a few tweets here and there. How's life been since UFC 272? And there's the Bang Energy. Did you deliberately take a little bit of time for yourself after the fight just to decompress a bit?
Yeah, I had to go on a little victory tour. I had, some mamacitas to hang out with, life to live to the fullest, so I'm the man now. So to be the man, you got to do the things that the man does. And the man's got to go out there and enjoy his life and have some fun and kind of decompress from all the business side of things. But life's good, man. I mean, I'm the king of Miami. I'm one of Bang's top sponsors. I love being a part of Team Bang. This new drink that we have is called the Booze, and it's the hydration sensation. It's taking all the other sports drinks by storm. I mean, it's just so good. All the vitamins it has, it just helps you recover. So I've been recovering with some booze and Bang Energy. Shout out Jack Owak. But now it's on to the next order of business. That was an easy night in the office, boys. So of course, naturally, I want to get back in there for the next biggest pay-per-view that I can get my hands a hold of.
Yeah, shout out to Jack and the boys of Bang Energy. And by the way, if you guys want to see some hilarious videos, check out Colby Covington's Instagram. Some really great promo videos for all the Bang Energy and stuff. Make sure to grab yourself some today. Colby, I wonder, man, obviously we know you're the king of Miami, but what was it like actually returning to Miami after getting this win at UFC 272?
It was incredible. It was great to be back in the heart of the city. That's where I train. I train in the heart of Miami. I'm in Hialeah training every day, blue collar work ethic, putting in the hours in the gym to keep improving. And that's why that work is so easy when I go in there and I just completely dominate guys and give guys no hope and no chance. So, we make it so these guys can't say, oh, there was a lucky knockout or submission. What would have happened? This is just straight domination for every round that we're in, never losing rounds. And hard work in Miami every day. I love the people here. They embrace me here like I'm one of their own since, I've been here for over 12 years now. So it's been amazing. I have a lot of support down here. And I just know that, I have a big life after fighting. When I do want to hang it up and it's time that my legacy has come to a close, it's not anytime soon. But when it does, I'm going to have a great city to retire in and just a lot of opportunities business-wise that I'm going to be able to do.
So let's look back on the glory night that we're obviously talking about. After all the years and the lead up and the back and forth, how satisfying was that moment that you finally got when you beat Jorge Masvidal compared to how you must have envisioned it for a long time?
Yeah, it was exactly how I envisioned it. Just complete domination from start to finish. Almost finishing him multiple times. And him, just seeing him at the end of that fight, just completely, he had to have two people holding him up. He was resting his shoulders, like putting his head down, like he couldn't even hold his head up. Like he had another coach helping him hold his head up too. I mean, he was just so defeated and had nothing left in his tank, completely exhausted, completely done, and just beaten and bruised and battered. So he knew that, the funny thing I think about everything is that where was all his teammates? All these people that talked about they were going to show up for him and have his support, and this and that. He was going to baptize me. He was going to leave me in critical condition. Where was all his support group? Was Dan Lambert, the owner of American Top Team, in the building? I don't think he was in the building that night. I mean, where was Dustin Poirier? Dustin Poirier he left the country because he was so afraid of me. So he had to get out of the country. He didn't want to come support his friend, Jorge Masvidal. I thought Dustin and George are friends. He didn't want to come support him, but so ironic. 2 days later, he's at the Apex for UFC 187,000th Apex show that they're doing for a fight night, and he's out there supporting his friend there. But he wasn't here for the biggest pay-per-view of the year just a week before. I think it's kind of ironic. Where was all these people? It's almost like he knew he was going to lose. So that was super satisfying because just seeing the look on his face and none of the people there being there to support him, it's like they knew what was going to happen.
Now that it's all said and done, anything happened during fight week that like people didn't know about it? Anybody try and approach you? Anybody try and say anything to you? Anything behind the scenes that you can reveal?
Nah, the UFC does a good job of letting us handle our business and this and that. So we got a great team over at the UFC. I got a great my team behind me. No one's gonna step to us I got the baddest team in the world. Charlie Weiss, the baddest motherfucker in Miami. They call him the Kraken. This guy just plows through people. You do not want to get in this guy's way. Cesar Carnero, the baddest striker in the entire world. This guy is putting dudes to sleep. Daniel Valverde, submission and judo, he's dumping dudes on their head. So no one's going to get past that line of defense. And, we're doing what we do best, and that's win fights. And at the top of the marquee, anytime they put the biggest and best fights on, we got to be a part of it.
What was the deal with the cortisone where I believe Jorge was under the impression that you had an issue with your knee and was targeting the knee. And then you said afterwards that you put that out there and you told someone specifically to test them and to see which side they were on. I'm curious, what gave you that inkling that, this is someone you need to test, and who was it? Who was it that was, was it someone doing your medicals, or who was it?
Yeah, there was someone doing my medicals to get me ready for the fight. So, I wanted to see which side he was on, because I knew a lot of, Georgia's team and those guys who went through this guy and used him. They're in the Spanish culture. They all like each other and they stick together. So, I had to see if what was real in my mind was actually real in real life. And that's what it was. So, it's just a little gamesmanship on my end. I'm a lot smarter than these guys, want to give me credit for, I always say the truth. I'm always talking the truth, and people hate that. It's brutally truth, and it's honest, but I'm a man of my word. I talk the talk and I walk the walk. So, it's not worth talking about. It just was so funny because he really thought it was badly hurt and he was trying to target it, and it wasn't doing shit. Felt like I was fighting an amateur.
Wow, that's interesting, man. Well, it's a great tactic, and looks like it kind of worked on the night. Let's talk about the fight, because obviously it was a dominant win for you, but it kind of sounded like you were a little bit like hard on yourself, or a little bit unhappy with your performance after the fight. Like, did emotions play a factor? And what were the emotions like during the actual fight itself? You're fighting a guy who you were so close to for so long. I also feel like there's a lot of weight that comes with this fight because of this rivalry and how long it's been built up for. What was it actually like being in there with him?
It was just as easy as I expected. I've been saying for a long time, guys, who was the alpha in that room, and now I'm proving it. That's 15 straight rounds against this team. I'm 15-0. As far as rounds go, Jorge Masvidal, Tyrone Woodley, Robbie Law, all these guys we used to train with. When I used to tell the media, hey, I beat all these guys. I'm the best in the world. These guys are easy, light work. Just another light, easy work and easy paycheck in the office. So, at least he tried, though, guys. Guys, he tried. You got to be happy, because it was an easy fight. He's a deadbeat dad. He's a piece of shit fighter and just sucks at fighting. But at least he tried, He definitely tried. Let's see if Dustin will try. If Dustin Poirier doesn't try, he's just a coward. He has to look himself in the mirror all the time and know that he's a complete coward. I'm trying to pick on people that are in the pound-for-pound race. The people made me the undisputed pound-for-pound #1 fighter. So as the people's champion, I want to give the people the best fights, ladder up against the big fights on the pound-for-pound list, and show who the pound-for-pound #1 fighter in the world really is. That's just a bunch of panel rankings. Those guys don't know anything about fighting, or have they ever been in a fight. They're not even the best burger flippers in their town, and they're trying to talk about the best fighters in the world. So it's funny.
Burger flippers. I love that one. We'll talk about Dustin in a second, but I just wonder, like, did you feel Jorge being or fighting emotionally in the fight at any point?
No, he just knew that he had to come out in that first round, throw as big as shots as he could, and that was it. He was gassed. You could see every single round. He put his head down, and it was just easy work. I tripled or doubled the output and strikes on his face. I doubled him out. I beat him everywhere. Striking, I beat him wrestling, jiu-jitsu, everything. So I did more punishment. It just was the easy night in the office, and he just knew that all he could do is have a strong first round, and then he's going to gas. He can't keep up at that high level pace. He hasn't worked as hard as me, guys. George Masvidal is a lazy piece of shit. He's a deadbeat father, but besides that, in the training room, that guy has no work ethic. He doesn't want to earn anything. He's a flash in the pan. He wants to earn. He wants to just everything to be given to him. Just like his Obama phone, just like his loans that he took out from the government. So the guy's just a piece of shit. He cuts corners. I've never cut corners in my career or in my journey of training hard every single day and to be the best. I work my ass off. I make the sacrifice. I'm disciplined, and I live a good lifestyle, and I come with a good cause. I stand for the troops. I stand for America. I stand for the Trumps. I stand for something bigger than just myself. So God bless America.
Yeah, I was wondering when I was watching the fight, what did you say to him during the fight? Like, I couldn't quite tell, but were you talking to him in the first round when he had his back? And if not, were there moments in the fight that you could remember talking to him or him trying to say anything to you as the fight went on?
Yeah, he couldn't say anything. I mean, what's he gonna say? He's getting his ass whooped every second of the fight. He couldn't literally do anything. Didn't have a scratch on my face. Easy night at the office, but I was telling him, I was just like, yeah, you're my bitch, dude. You can't do anything. You're still my son, kid. It's okay. Daddy's here now. Daddy's going to take care of you. So he knew what was up. He knew Daddy was in the building. He knew that I was big brother in him, and he had no opportunity to beat me. So at least he tried, though, guys. He showed up. He tried. At least he tried. So let's see if another guy from that coward gym, will actually try. I hate to give any respect to the guy because he's just such a piece of shit dirtbag. But, he knew he was going to get his ass whooped, but at least he tried. Just like Woodley, at least he tried. But we'll see if Dustin will try. I don't think he has any honor or dignity. I don't think he cares about his family, his teammates, his team. So we'll see if he tries.
I promise we'll definitely get to Dustin, but I want to ask you, what went through your mind when he got you with that shot in the 4th round, and it looked like you kind of took a knee for a second? What went through your mind during that point, and how were you able to recover so quickly afterwards? And were you surprised that he didn't look to capitalize?
That's funny you say that, because I was just watching that back again earlier today in the gym after I got done training. And honestly, I was like circling to that way. So I was a little bit off balance. It wasn't like a hard shot. It just kind of was off balance and it connected in a sweet spot, but it didn't do anything. I mean, I was laughing as soon as because I knew I lost my balance and I wasn't like it wasn't like a legit knockdown where I was on, I had my strong base and I got clipped. No, I didn't get clipped. It was a light little fucking punch, dude. The dude's got baby fucking power in his knuckles. So dude's got no baptization skills. Guy's fucking complete amateur. And so I was just off balance, honestly. I got right back up. I was smiling. I started jabbing him, finishing that round, lighting him up on the feet, having him backed up against the fence, just fucking covering up like a little fucking bitch.
I wonder because, your Kamaru Usman rematch at the end of the fight, you guys had that moment. At the end of a lot of fights, you kind of see that feud die. But at the end of this one, Jorge, he was quite animated in the cage after the fight, despite actually the fight finishing. And obviously you got that win. What was your reaction when you saw that, he was still sort of so animated after the fight finished? And was a part of you kind of surprised? Because for many fans, it kind of felt like, that's the kind of rivalry and the feud kind of being over after that fight finished.
Yeah, I was laughing and smiling the whole time, sticking out my tongue, showing him my mouth guard that said Miami, since I'm the king of Miami and I run. So he needs to leave this city because it's not big enough for the both of us. Because I would hate to spark him and have to drop him out, in the concrete on his head, because then he's going to be in a coma and he'll never be the same person. He won't have the UFC to pay his medical bills when he goes to the doctor. But when I saw that moment, I said, lick my nuts, bitch. You ain't doing shit. Look at you. You're hanging over 2 fucking security guards, like barely able to even fucking hold yourself up. Literally can't even walk. Do you see the guy trying to walk? Dude was stumbling over his own feet. Couldn't even walk. He was so exhausted. What are you going to do? I would take your life. No one would be able to pull me off you like the ref did it then. Like, your life was over. Your life was in my hands. Like, I was laughing because deep down inside, he knows that. But he's just trying to maintain this image. Oh, I'm this fucking street fighter. I'm this badass fighter. Yeah, whatever. You can think whatever you want, but you're not the best fighter. I'm the biggest and baddest and best fighter. I'm the baddest motherfucker there is in this sport. I'm number 1, but there can only be number 1. He should be proud. He showed up. He tried. He's a contender. So, it's funny that Dustin's saying, oh, you got to go fight some welterweight contenders. Dude, are you talking shit about your own teammate, Jorge Masvidal? The guy just fought for the belt. He is a contender. What are you trying to say, Dustin? So I feel like Dustin and George aren't actually friends anymore. He's throwing shade at George, and he's saying this and that. Didn't even show up to support his friend George. So I just think that it's hilarious. And You know, all these guys, they know, you know, deep down inside, they can say whatever they want on the surface. They can act tough to the media, but the fans aren't buying it. The fans are calling these fighters out for what it is and holding them accountable. These guys are full of shit.
It felt like there was a lot of like you had your moment in the cage and you got the job done, but then post fight, Jorge said that if he sees you in the street, he's going to try and break your jaw. And then he posted a picture of his eye after the eye poke from the fight with the caption, "Almost took eyes out, but all good. You cheating fuck. See you soon." First of all, how do you respond to him saying that you cheated? And also, what do you think "see you soon" means? And I'm wondering because for him, it seems like this isn't over. Is it over for you?
I mean, it's over for me, but I mean, what's the guy going to do? He's all talk. I mean, I was supposed to be in critical condition. This is the same guy that said, oh, I'm going to leave Colby in critical condition on Monday. He might not make it. So the only thing in critical condition is Jorge Masvidal's career. It might not make it, guys. It's officially finished right now. We put the feather in the cap. So I don't buy anything that guy says. He's full of shit. He's full of lies. People believe what I say now because I speak truth and I speak honestly. Like, yeah, sometimes it's brutally honest. Sometimes it hurts, you know, hurts feelings. Oh, we can go in there and beat people up and send them to the hospital, but it's okay. Don't say some mean words. Don't be a meanie head. So it's funny, you know, but this guy, no one takes that guy serious anymore. If you guys take that guy serious, then, you know, you're just as uneducated as him, and you probably didn't get a middle school degree just like him, George Masvidal.
I've got one more on Jorge, and then we can move on, Colby. And I'm not trying to pile in it, but I did notice that his Twitter picture, the main display picture, is that moment where he caught you in the fight. And it seems like it's obviously like a pretty meaningful moment for him. But I wonder how you take it, considering that it is a fight that you won at the end of the day.
This is the most meaningful moment for George Masvidal's career, the journeyman that he is with double-digit losses and never accomplished anything in the sport. They gave him a participation trophy to make himself feel good about himself. Oh, we're going to give you the BMF title. It's a participation trophy. It's a one-off. It's not a real title, nor does it hold any weight in the UFC, but we're going to give it to you, make you feel good about yourself. Now the biggest thing he has to claim, the one little barely even hit that didn't even affect me at all, didn't rock me. I wasn't wobbled. You know, I was off balance, and I dropped down. I was right back in his face less than a second laughing at him that he thought he actually hurt me, and he knew in that second, he's like, okay, yeah, I didn't actually hurt him. You know, maybe I miscalculated. Dude, the guy, that was the one little glimpse of hope he had in the total round. Go look at that round right before that when he's curled up against the cage because he's so scared because I'm pounding away at his face. So, you know, like I don't know what, this is hilarious. You know, it's the one little thing he wants. That's his claim to fame now. Oh, he hit one good punch on Colby Covington. You know, I don't blame him, man. I mean, if that's, you know, what he has to make his career off of, then you got to do what you got to do, man. You're 37 years old. You're past your time now. Like, you just got your career, your title aspirations, your big money fight and main event marquee fights. They're out the window. They're rest in peace now. And at the front of them smiling is me, Colby Covington. Here lies all the title dreams and aspiration of Jorge Masvidal's career in my hands.
I gotta say that, you know, you guys really had that really interesting story that was captivating for the fans going into the fight. And I really felt like going in there, you know, it almost felt a little bit to me, especially that entrance that you had with the Kurt Angle theme song, like fans really got into it and they were really excited about the fight. And you guys were really able to basically carry the whole card and make it, you know, such a big success. And I know that it's something that you expected because you've been doing this for a while with the UFC, but how does it actually feel looking back on it now? You know, seeing yourself and Jorge and this story being basically the main factor of this pay-per-view. Like, we haven't seen really a pay-per-view built around too many fights that didn't have a title implication or didn't have a title or multiple title fights. And here it is, the whole pay-per-view, you know, just you and Jorge, and also kind of a feud that you've been building for quite some time. A lot of credit goes to you for, you know, building this into what it eventually became.
Everybody knows that was a title fight, boys. This weekend will be my official title coronation. It's going to be amazing. I'm going to get my belt, and it's going to be a great thing. It will be a serious celebration tour and just a lot of great things going on here in Miami. So this was a big fight. Everybody knew it was for the King of Miami. It was for the People's Championship, America's Championship, Donald Trump's favorite fighter. So he only likes winners. Donald Trump does not like losers. Donald Trump is the greatest president in our UFC history, in our USA history, and just a guy completely made America great again. The country, the economy was doing better than it was ever doing. Our borders were secure. We had a safe country here in America. And Donald Trump, had inflation. There was no such thing. I mean, gas was $1.50. Now it's like $6. So it's over triple because of Biden inflation. The guy's not doing anything. He's senile. He's old. He needs to get out of there. Let a real boss like Donald Trump save this country and the political slime just making money out there and just let the taxpayer money, lose itself. So it's sad. But for the fight, being one of the biggest fights, in UFC history, that type of grudge is, you're not going to find something like that where two guys were so genuinely close, real, actual best friends, and, rise up to the top of the division. He was side by side, I made it up there obviously a lot quicker, but, he hit lightning in a bottle, got a couple wins, 3 wins in a row, couple knockouts, and he's right up there now too. So it's just, it was a big fight, another opportunity for me to do good business with the UFC. I think it was, like a top 10 gate of all time in the history of the UFC company. So, another honor, another humbling stat in my history-filled career that I was able to accomplish. Everybody knows what I did at Madison Square Garden. And that was like the 4th highest gate in the history of Madison Square Garden, for my title fight. So, I love doing good business for the UFC. It's amazing to fight in Vegas at T-Mobile Arena. That was an electric atmosphere, just walking out there to the fans, just embracing me the way they did and just chanting for me. It was incredible, man. It was a great night in America and another history-filled night for us Americans.
Just quickly, you mentioned there's a belt this weekend. What do you mean? What's going on there?
You guys got to tune in. I might have got sent a belt, and it's title season over here, boys. That was a big fight, for Miami. This was something bigger than just a UFC fight. It was the King of Miami title fight, so it was a big one. So you stay tuned for the coronation. I promise you, there's pictures to follow this weekend, and it's gonna be a great celebration and just a great moment in history.
You couldn't get them to fast track it, maybe debut the belt on the show, Colby? Come on, man.
That's true. Yeah, I might be that. Actually, I got some serious pulling string around here.
All right.
the king of Miami belt. I feel like it's gonna be, and this belt that you're getting, it's gonna be coming with you to all future events, right, Colby? Like you're taking this thing with you, and it's becoming a part. It's gonna become a part of Fight Week.
Yeah, it's got to be a part of Fight Week. It's an important part of Fight Week. It's this prestigious title, the most prestigious title in the UFC today. So it's going to be an awesome time, and to retain that belt, and whoever gets to hold that belt, I mean, it's the biggest piece of 20 pounds of gold that you've ever seen. It's just a beautiful, immaculate piece. So the fact that you even get a chance to fight for is the biggest honor that you're ever going to get in your life, and the biggest moment in your life. And good luck.
Yeah, well, speaking of gold, protect your gold. And by that, I mean your wallet and your credit cards and your PayPal with a VPN like NordVPN. When you're browsing those spicy websites, you don't want any of that information being leaked. So get NordVPN, protect yourself, and also get access to tons of otherwise geo-blocked content. We got UFC London coming up this weekend, and I know the guys at BT Sport do a tremendous job. I have seen from time to time some of their awesome preview or post-show or just exclusive content. It is geo-blocked, so people like us here in Australia, we can't watch it, but that's okay. Problem solved. You whip out NordVPN, one touch of a button, you change your geolocation to the UK or anywhere, and then all of a sudden you've got access to all sorts of great content. The same applies to places like Netflix. If you want to watch Mr. Bean, you got to be in the UK. Or use NordVPN, change your location, all of a sudden you can watch it. Same with Rick and Morty. The only place where you can watch Rick and Morty on Netflix is in the UK, I believe. So NordVPN has you covered. You've got access to over 59 different countries and over 5,000 different servers by changing your geolocation with one click. Amazing speed thanks to NordLynx. No more bandwidth throttling, no buffering, stream securely, and just the greatest VPN that's ever been created. Isn't that right, Dennis?
That's right, man. One of the shows that's been driving me absolutely crazy now that it's the return of the Mac and Tom Brady is back as man in the arena. The multi-part documentary series on his career. Man, you cannot find this thing anywhere. Thanks to Nord, I've been able to get my Tom Brady history and get ready for this big return. Grab your exclusive NordVPN deal by going to nordvpn.com/submission or click the link in the description below. Get a huge discount off your NordVPN plan plus 1 additional month for free. And it's completely risk-free with Nord's 30-day money-back guarantee. Get browsing, guys.
That's right, guys. Get on it. Okay, so then going back to UFC 272, post-fight, I love that you called your shot. You knew exactly who you wanted. It was Dustin Poirier. In your mind, when did you decide 100% he's the next person that you want?
I've been decided on that for a while. It's about holding these guys accountable. Dustin said it was on site, man. He's the one that said in the interview, I didn't have to use Dustin's name. He used my name in the interviews to get exposure to add value to his fight. So if he wouldn't have used my name, I'd never even talk about it. I could care less. And also his coach is saying, oh, Dustin's going to be a bigger and better welterweight than he was lightweight, and he's having a hard time making lightweight anymore. So, why is he trying to pick on the guy in the corner that has a lisp, that's mentally handicapped and crippled? Nate Diaz is crippled mentally and physically. That guy shouldn't even be fighting anymore. So if Dustin wants to pick on the crippled dude that has a lisp, Nate Diaz, why don't you come fight the man? I'm the #1 guy in the division. I thought you were telling the media about, my hopes and dreams and my title aspirations, 25 minutes paid in full. So if you want to come to 170 and you want the title, you got to go through me. I am the title. So I'm the biggest fight he can get. And he's the one that's saying, that, if we fight in the streets, we're both going to jail. Dude, Dustin, I thought you wanted to be a family man. I thought you loved your kid. You loved your wife. If you love them, then you're not going to come fight me in the streets because I'm going to leave you in a coma. You're not going to be the same person when I drop you on your head. At least come get paid for it. I'm not using Dustin's name to get paid. I make money no matter who I fight. Like, they put me on the marquee. That's a big billing. That's the best fighter in the entire world. And that's Colby Chaos Covington. People know what type of weight that holds. So, Dustin claims he's his top 10 pound for pound fighter. Okay, if you're pound for pound, you want to come to 170, come prove it. I'm the pound for pound people's champion. So, he wants to come up. He said it's bulking season. He wants to do all this and that. But the biggest thing about Dustin Poirier is if he wants to keep any honor and dignity for himself, he needs to come fight me because, man, I've called out his wife, called out his family, called out his team, called out his friends. Man, if you have any respect for yourself, you have to come at least try. Be a trier, Dustin. But if you don't try, then, guys, this is going to be another title for me. 0 seconds tap out of round 1 in the UFC. This will be the fastest submission in UFC history. This will go in the Guinness World Record books that Dustin didn't even try. He got 0 seconds tapped out of verbal submission in the first round of the UFC. So actually, we'll have to see, boys. We'll have to see if he tries.
So he's been very clear. He said he doesn't want to fight you because he essentially doesn't want to help you make money. I'm just wondering if he watches this right now, what is your response to him? And also, will this new title that you're getting in the next few days be on the line if you guys do fight?
Absolutely, it'll be on the line, and it's worth something more than he can get for a big money fight right now. I'm his only available option. I'm calling him out because we're both free right now. Everybody else is booked up in the division. And he's not going to fight the cripple guy with the list. If anything, that guy's going to fight Connor. Let them do their business. So if you want to fight this summer, I'm the biggest money that he can get. If he wants to go back down to 55 and fight Joe Schmo that nobody knows, okay, you're going to fight for a quarter of the paycheck. But if you want to come fight the man, the #1 fighter in the entire world, Colby Chaos Covington, there's a belt on line. There's a big pay-per-view money fight on the line. So this is the fight that needs to happen. The fans want this to happen. What is he so scared of? I mean, I thought he was just this great gangster, Louisiana fucking gangster who knocked someone out. Dude, he's gonna have to look in the mirror every day and be like, man, I'm a fucking coward. I ducked Colby Chaos Covington. I was fucking scared of him. I didn't keep any honor and dignity for my family, for my wife. Like, dude, his ego and just his ego in general is stronger than his pride for his family. Like, you got to come out here and at least try. You got to come, try and, put it down. Like, otherwise, you're not a man. You're a bitch. You're a coward. So, I'd feel bad to have to wake up every morning and look in the mirror and be like, damn, I was a coward. I didn't stick up for my family, for my wife, for my kid, for my team, for my friend, all these people. So, it's a LL for him. It's a lose-lose situation. He either loses, he shows up, gets his ass whooped. He knows what's going to happen, but at least try. Dustin, you got to at least try. But if he doesn't try, then it's the 0 seconds tap out of the first round UFC history, and it's history. And he knows he's a bitch, and, he let his family and team get talked all over, and, he's still a coward bitch. He's got to live with that the rest of his life.
I think it'd definitely be a big fight. I'm curious, what have the UFC said about it to you? Have there been any chats? Has Dana White given you any kind of feedback, or anybody, or have they given you any feedback at all regarding what could be next for you?
I think it definitely makes sense business-wise. I think the UFC knows that. They'd love to put it together. Of course, Dustin's chasing the kid in the corner that, is crippled and shouldn't even be fighting anymore, Nate. But Nate's not going to fight him. That's not the fight that's going to happen. If Nate's fighting, he's fighting Conor, and that fight's going to be later in the year, probably, fall time or something. So the summer card, he wanted to fight in the summer. Dustin wanted to fight. Here's your opportunity to fight the biggest fight possible. Come fight it, dude. Like, you're supposed to be some pound for pound great, but you're scared to fight at your natural weight class. Dustin's bigger than me, guys. Just because I fight a bigger weight class, I don't want to cut weight. I don't want to cut all that weight to cut to 55. That's going to be too much just cutting of weight, and I'm not going to feel good. I don't want to miss any meals. I like fighting in 170 because I don't have to miss meals. I can enjoy my weight cut, which is non-existent. It's not a weight cut, but I'm not a weight bully like Dustin. He's got to cut all that weight to have that advantage on everybody, feel like he's the bigger fighter and he can knock these guys out. So I'm just trying to offer him a fight at the weight class that he's trying to fight at. He's trying to pick on the crippled guy in the corner with the list. I'm giving you the biggest fight possible, the number one guy. Like, let's do this, man. You said it was on site. So name the site, motherfucker, and show the fuck up. Defend your family, defend your team, defend your friend, and come out here and fight the number one guy.
I know fans can't wait for your return, man. They want to see you back in action as soon as possible. So I know you mentioned summer. If it's not Dustin, who else makes sense for you to come back and get back into that octagon? I'm assuming summer is the target time that you're looking to sort of make the return.
Yeah, I think I could definitely go up to 85 and fight Adesanya, but I don't know if he's going to turn around like that but he doesn't have a dance partner right now. Some of the guys they're trying to line him up with, it's unoriginal. Why can Usman fight him? All the fans want that, but the guy that beat Usman, I beat Usman twice. Usman sucks, dude. Everybody knew him, Madison Square Garden. I won those last 3 rounds. It was an easy win for me. Easy decision victory, unanimous. So, why can't I fight Adesanya? That guy he can't stop my wrestling. I'll pick him up and drop him on his fucking head. He's a cardio kickboxer. They got enough cardio kickboxers in women's classes around the U.S., Like, I can go join one of those as well. But I decided to pick up hard, grueling American wrestling. So I don't think Adesanya can stop my American wrestling, and I don't think he's that good a fighter.
Yeah, so this is fascinating, man, because we saw there was some stuff going on between potentially you and Robert Whittaker maybe having a fight in the future. So I'm curious, is this something that you will approach the UFC with, potentially trying to get a title shot against Israel? And if you do succeed and get this fight against Israel, does that mean middleweight could be potentially Colby Covington's division? Like, would you look to go up a little bit in weight? Like, how much would you weigh, and would middleweight be your division if that fight does happen in the summer?
As the pound for pound number one people's champion, I want to give the fans the biggest and best fights possible. I don't cut any weight to go to 170, so I'm not going to be going up to 85 and make it a full-time home. But I'm waiting for the big fights to present themselves. And the 2 biggest fights in my mind, go beat up Adesanya. The guy just has cardio kickboxing. He's not that good of a fighter. He's not well-rounded. He can't stop my American wrestling. I'll melt that guy. He'll 100% melt under my pressure and my pace. Or fight Dustin, another guy who said it's on site. He wants to come up to my weight class, 170. He said this and that. He's supposed to be some pound for pound great fighter. So if you're pound for pound great, then come fight, man. What are you so scared of, man? Like, how are you gonna live with yourself knowing that I talk down on your family and talk down on your people and your friends, and you didn't do shit about it. You didn't even try. So at least Woodley, Lawler, and Masvidal tried. But I got the best of everybody at that gym. I'm the best fighter to ever come out of that gym, and it's a hit list, man. These were the guys that were on my hit list at that gym, and I'm paying up. I'm unpaid debts that got to be paid up now.
So if you're basically walking around 170, would you be fighting Israel? Like, if you guys fought at middleweight, would you essentially be fighting at that same weight of around 170, 180?
Yeah, I'd be fighting like 180, 185 max. Like, I'll wake up and step on the scale and just weigh that. But I have no problem with that. That's easy. That's just I grew up wrestling like that, and just I train with guys that were always bigger than me, but they can never keep up the pace. So it would be nice just to step on the scale and not have to even cut a pound. That'd be fun. I'd love it.
What about?
And I know what I'm.
Sorry to cut you off. What about Robert Whittaker? I know Dana White. He was kind of like, He didn't jump at the idea of you facing Israel immediately, but he likes the idea of you coming up to middleweight and then fighting somebody first. Robert Whittaker is obviously going to face Marvin Vettori, but Rob himself and his team seem really to like the idea of fighting you and says that could definitely be next. What do you think about the Robert Whittaker fight?
It's just not like a big fight. He got melted when he was at welterweight by Choir Boy. Choir Boy was melting him. So we know how good Choir Boy is. He's like not even a top 5 fighter in this division. So the fact that he was getting melted by nobodies, if he earns his name and makes a big fight, becomes a draw, then things can change, because then he's held into a higher perspective. But he's coming off the 2 losses, and a lot of people are questioning if he still has that fighter's heart to keep competing anymore. So he might have left that in there with some of the wars that he had in his past career. So we'll have to see. Keep winning fights, keep becoming a big draw, and I have no problem. We can meet in the middle. We can do catch weights. I just want to put on the biggest and best fights for UFC. That's what it's all about to Colby Chaos Covington, and proving I am a pound-for-pound great by fighting guys bigger and smaller. That's just how good I am and what I'm capable of doing.
What if it was in a stadium here in Australia? Maybe Marvel Stadium, you, Rob Whittaker, headlining. Be like you and Jorge, no title needed on the line, just a big fat event.
That's what it's all about. I fill up all the biggest and fattest events, guys. Every time I go to an arena, it completely sells out. I was in Madison Square Garden, completely sold out. T-Mobile Arena, completely sold out. United Centers in Chicago, completely sold out. Newark, completely sold out. So that's what I do. I love putting on the stadium shows. We can go to Marvel Stadium. We can go to, Allegiant Stadium. We can go to all the big, football fields in Vegas that they got. And we can do this anywhere. But I don't know if I want to leave the country, man. I mean, America, we're so free here. We have so many freedoms and great quality of life over here. So the government has got too much, authoritarian control in other countries. And I'm not going to be in a place where, it's a communist regimen and they could, decide literally what to do with your life at any moment. So, I'm going to stay in America. It's safe out here, guys. God bless America. God bless the troops. God bless the Trumps. And you want to come fight America's champ, come do it. But when you step onto my soul, don't expect to go back to your country in one piece.
I think you'd love it here, though, man. Down under, Colby, down under. By the way, 56,000 plus fans. I'm sure that Marvel Stadium would be absolutely rocking. And by the way, we have MCG here in Melbourne, which is 100,000. 100,000. So I wonder if 100,000 Colby Covington, Israel Adesanya fans could be enough to get the bad guy down under. I know everybody would love to see you. Just quickly, man, and we appreciate the time. We'll wrap in just a second. We saw Khamzat Chimaev was sitting front row at UFC 272. Just wondered, did you look at you, say anything to you as you walked out or walked back to the cage after that impressive win over Jorge Masvidal?
Nah, it's the same guys, like Dustin Poirier, they say it's on site and this and that, but then when they see me, they put their heads down because they know what's really true and what's not true. They want to keep these tough guy personas, but come shot, guys got no credible wins. He might not even make his fight. He's already talking about pulling out. We already know the guy was ready to give it up and call it a career off of the common cold that he got. So we know he's not mentally strong as it is. So no one said nothing to me. They knew the King of Miami was in the building, and everybody embraced me like the king that I am, and everybody treated with me with the most respect, and they had a lot of round of applause and ovation for me, and it was a beautiful night in Las Vegas, man. Another productive business opportunity in Sin City, and just another one for the history books on my history career.
Final question for me, and then we're out of your hair, Colby. You obviously made it clear that Khamzat, unless he does something against ranked guys, he's not really on your radar. What would he have to do against Gilbert Burns at UFC 273 to sort of catch your attention?
He's got to beat a couple contenders, man. Look at my resume. I'm just beating champion after champion. The guys when I fought them, number 2 in the world, number 3 in the world, number 5 in the world. When I fought the guys, I don't care what guys want to say. Oh, not now they're not ranked. When I fought guys, they were the best in the world, and my resume I put together speaks volumes. Just champion after champion on it. Of course, winning my own championship. So the kid needs to win some credible contender fights, man. The guy's had 3 or 4 fights. You guys want to rush him to the top of the division before he's ready for that. You're going to get these guys hurt, man. They get this bottle of lightning hype on them, and then you send them in these big fights, and they're going to be a fish out of the water. So he's got to win some big high-level fights, and then we'll start talking, man. I fight the best guys in the world. That's what I do. As you know, at Colby Covington Incorporated, we put on the biggest and best fights that the UFC can offer, and that's what it's all about: giving the fans what they want and putting on the best fights for the fans.
All right. Well, Colby, we really appreciate your time. We'll let you go. I think it's Mamacita o'clock, and we don't want to keep them waiting. Appreciate it as always. Follow them on Twitter and Instagram at Colby Cov MMA. Big shout out to my bookie as well, who, by the way, mutual friends. They're giving away something. Isn't there a promo at the moment, a competition? You can win a Bitcoin, something like that?
That's right. They got the My Bracket Challenge for the college NBA basketball bracket. So you could win a full Bitcoin. All it takes is $10 to enter. So there's a great thing going on over there. You can use promo code Colby or promo code submission, either one. Just make sure you get that promo in there and use my bookie and make your bank accounts great again, because they are the best. So bet with the best, and let's make some money and make our bank accounts great again.
Damn,
the king of Miami. Yeah, I was gonna.
I'd love to get rich off $10, but yeah.
Yeah. Get that coin. And there he is, the king of Miami. We can't wait to summer, man, and seeing what's next. Thank you so much for joining us. When this belt comes in, you're going to have to bring it past Submission Radio. We're going to have to get a closer look at it. Colby Covington, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me, guys. Have a great day.